Okay, hi folks, Mark Hanna Hothead Thundermouth here. And I'm continuing my exploration of the remedial training I'm giving myself on the art of defense. I had played this scenario, I think I mentioned before, with Michael Hastrup Lee over there in Denmark, and he basically tore my defense apart very quickly. And as usual, I didn't put a lot of thought into my defense. So I've been asking a couple of people, how do they defend? Uh, Last video I think was on Doug, and Doug had done some good defensive structures. Now, Michael's were a little bit different, and he had put it together like this. And if I go ahead and show you, this is my Italian setup that I'm going to try to do to in the attack when I play this solitaire. The defense is here, and I'm going to take off these concealment markers so you can see what's underneath. Okay, so this is a bit interesting. He's got two squads here with ATRs shooting down the road. I guess he's thinking that if I try to zoom in here and then cut up the road CE, he'll have some double ATR coverage. Typically, my mentality doesn't work like that. I would have one ATR maybe here, maybe another over here to stop him from flanking, or really probably you need them both here, because what he did when he played me as the Italians, he came in and put a lot of tanks here just waiting for the Russians to come on. And when I was talking to Doug, he mentioned that probably one of the problems for the Russian defense and why they lose isn't because, the Italians, why they may not win, according to Rohr, isn't because they don't have enough forces. It's because they don't block the reinforcements. If you look over here, there's quite a few reinforcements that come in on turn 2, and they need to be stopped. If they can get to the complex up here, it's probably curtains for the Italians. Now, I continue to use my other setup for the Italians, the Russians that I did before. I put the anti-tank guns here hidden. Michael Hastrup had actually recommended that they get put back here. I've done that before when I played this many years ago. Make it hard for the guys to get at the guns. But I thought I'd just hedgehog this a little bit and try it that way. So this is a very forward defense from what I tried, trying to prevent Italian penetration of the forest. This is as close as the Italians can set up, so they'll be concealed. But they got quite a few squads in here. I've put a couple flanker squads that are able to, well, ideally approach from there. But while Doug put a ATR in the upper floor here, Michael's more interested, and I kind of agree with him. I tend to put the MMG in the second floor. Well, it's really the first floor of the steeple, but it's treated as if it's got an LOS from the second level. That's, you think it's a pretty good position. It is if it gets rate of fire, but it's, just like anything in this game. You can gack these rolls, and that's it. They aren't that useful after that. So we'll see how this plays out. I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to append probably my first turn with some comments as I bring on the Italians. Just so you know, I'll probably bring in the Italian armor. Can only come in back here, send it to this road, and send it up, send it this way. I won't know technically that the ATRs are there, but I can assume anything that's got more than one unit has some kind of a support weapon. And the Russians, what they have in this game are two ATRs and a medium. So it's probably either going to be a leader there, which there's only one leader, the commissar. Now I'd like to comment on that because he's put his commissar back here by itself. I tend not to do that anymore. It's an interesting ploy because it lets the guys route back to a safe place. And I guess he's assuming that with a sniper of only 2, his leader should be relatively safe. Well, that's true, but you know, I would tend to put the sniper over here anyway to try to clip the crew that's manning the machine gun. So that gives it a second target back here, which is quite valuable, the commissar. So I'm not so sure I agree with that positioning. I think that you probably want to keep the commissar a little safer than that, particularly since it can rally without desperation morale. And higher morale, I'd probably try to stack something with it. But anyway, that's the only flaw I would point out in Michael's defense. So that's not very much of one compared to the defense that I had the first time. All right, so we'll get started on this. Here's the overview of the entire map. The Russian reinforcements will be coming on anywhere on this side of the map down across this open ground. So they're going to get cut down, but if they can get enough guys over here to stop this, the Italians need to take all of these buildings, as I recall, controlling 6 of the building hexes. Okay? If they capture a gun, that also counts as 1. So one might say that my idea of putting the guns up close, oops, I'm sorry, you can see where I've marked them here, just makes it easier for them to get the points because it's all in the same place. But I like the guns here to help defend the critical building and the approaches to it. So I've seen it done both ways. I think it's effective both ways. Putting the guns over here so they're harder to get at. Putting them here to help support the defense. So we'll see. These are speedy little tanks with speed of 14. They can come in, do vehicle bypass, freeze. I will be using skulking. I will be using VBM freeze. This was a tournament scenario, and I can't play with my pet grudge rules this time. Now, it's a good thing, though, for the Soviets because they get some decent tanks coming in, too. Some 20 double L tanks. I need to get them out of the box, actually. And that comes in with their reinforcements here. It's these things. What are those? T-60s, M62s. I really thought I got those out of the box. I remember looking at those. Okay. Well, anyway, that's the situation. And we'll start playing it out. Thanks. I had to restart the video because I accidentally turned off the camera. Whoops. Okay, so let's take this and get some more light. There we are. Okay, so the ATR shot will be taken. And, yeah, it's on the side aspect there. It's not good here, is it? But it is a front shot on the turret, so this is an early Italian mistake, but that's why this is being done like this. So, ATR shot, small target, moving, +3 to hit. Here we go. See how good the Russians are. And kaboom! They got lucky. They hit it on the hull. So it's a 6 for the Russian ATR, as I recall. Get my kill. These Russian ATRs are acting better than they should be myself, but whatever. Okay, so I think it's a 6 and it's going to be a 7 to kill. Because of the range. Yep, ATR Russian is a 6. +1 for range, 7. And their side armor is only a 1. So it's a 6 to kill. Now they're hoping for a bounce here. The Italians are crossing their fingers, and it is a bounce. In fact, an 8 is rolled. That will bounce. A 7 would have been a possible shock. No good. So they dodged a bullet that time. They're going to be able to align to face that. Okay, well, that was disappointing. So now we'll see if we can get that crew. I think it's worth a shot to take a 4+2 on the crew. See if they can get that. 4+2. 12 is not going to do anything. And then this guy will do his 4. See if we can do some destruction here. 4 flat on the broken guy with a 4. That will be a 1 check. And they are, oh, they passed with a 4. So no, they didn't get reduced. No snipers. So that's it. We go to the advancing fire phase now. And they'll rotate the tank and turret to match. They won't shoot. No other units in LOS. This guy had no LOS to shoot from. Nothing else for the Italians to shoot at. So now let's advance. Okay, so in the advance phase, so route phase first, actually. So, where do I want to route this guy? There's his target, and then he can continue to route. So he'll go 2, that would overstack for 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Right back to there. I want to keep him out of the line of fire, really. Okay. Then, advance. So let's do some advancing here. Pull off these final fire markers right here. And let's see. So let's do some advances. These guys will advance up here. You can't quite see them. They're up there at the top. They're going to advance to this location. Here, staying concealed. A couple of 3, 4, 6 squads there. On a long flanking maneuver. No, I did not waste a leader up here, so, you know, they're a little bit on their own. They're a bit fragile if they get broken, so I have to be really careful. Okay. Let's continue our advances. So, we've got a Russian sniper here, so all these guys need to button back up. Button up, button up, button up. Okay, then we'll advance into here. So I wanted to do something like this. Put these 2, 3, 4, 6s here. They will be CX over here. Put 2 guys here. Here I'm going to put the flamethrower by himself. Now, the Russians won't know this, of course, ideally. They may suspect, but they will not know. Okay, and then over here, we've got a nice stack of, yeah, we'll put these 2 guys there. They will be concealed. This guy's back here. This leader will go back here. Okay, I'm a leader. Go back and rally them. Usually I like 8-1 leaders on the line, but these Italians, you gotta keep pushing them forward. You need the best leaders at the top. Okay, then here. So, what do I want to do with this guy? Don't want to triple stack anybody. Here, this would be a triple stack also. Do not want to triple stack those guys. That's the machine gun guy. So now they go forward to there. This 3, 4, 6. And this guy. Now it's a bit of a crapshoot. We'll go ahead and put this 447 in demo charge there. This guy will come back concealed on the road. Okay. So that's there. All right. What's this motion tank doing up here? Oh, that's right. He was on the big fat stack right there. Okay. So there's, yeah, so I can do armored assault with him. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so as you can see, I've got a nice line of fire on the first turn here for the Italians and the Russians. I've got some stuff here that can interdict over here. These tanks are going to help interdict. So I think it's a conservative move, but the Russians did set up very far forward. So Now, as you can see, they've got some choices to make, and I think they're going to have to shoot the ATR guy, hope to get a kill. Meanwhile, these guys can do the skulking routine, which, you know, we have to play with in tournament style. So that's the end of the Italian first turn. We'll go now and get ready for, adjust the camera a tad, pause it, and we'll do the Russian first turn. Okay, so I just took a look at my options here. So the Russians are starting now. And as ever, we start with the win change die roll, a 5. No change rally phase. Russians have nothing. The Italians here, they could try to rally this. This guy's going to have a +2. He'll need a 3 to rally. I'll take that roll. Usually I won't take a roll on a 2 or a 12. It depends though. If the 2 rallies them, then it's battle hardening if 12 rolls them. But these are Italians, but I got a 2 or a 3, so we'll give it a try. Here we go. And they rolled an 8, so didn't have to think about it too long. Well, it's done. Okay. Right, so we're going to have some fighting now. First thing will be the ATR down here, where my prep fires. Okay, this guy's going to be toast, but he's going to try to take out that tank. We need to reduce this armor if we can get lucky on it. So he'll need a 9 to hit just for the small target. Here we go. And it is a 7 turret hit. Stronger turret, so it's a 4 defense. Hitting with a 7, so it's only a 3 to kill. 9 bounces. So that was probably a bad shot in the ATR here. He'll hold off prepping until the machine gun can take a shot. So eeny, meeny, miny, mo. All of these look pretty good. I'll do a random selection here because, you know, I'm playing solitaire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's the choice. The stack is 3, 4. Always a good choice, actually, the one in the middle to break up any fire group. So he's going to take that shot, but it's only going to be a 2 + 1. So, do I want to do that first, or do I want to try that guy first? Yeah, this guy will shoot there first then. See if I can get a result at 2 + 1. 9 misses, and then the next shot. 2 + 1 from the machine gun up there. And I rolled 5. No rate of fire, but a 6 is a pin task check, and would have been a normal check if it had been on the flamethrower dude. Okay, but it was not. So that's not bad. Pin task check on those 2 guys. We know who they are. So here they are, Italians. You remember what these snipers are. I think it's 3 and 2. Yeah. Okay, first guy's pinned with an 8. Second guy, a 5. He's okay. So we pinned this guy here. Well, they're both the same, so I'll just put it on the bottom guy for ease of use. Okay, well, that's it for prep. I don't think we want to take any more shots. Let's do some... Yeah, what I want to do is find a good ATR position. This is not a good ATR position. We're into movement. I got to flip this over. Prep fires over. Movement phase next. Okay. So we go ahead and start movement for these Russians. Good place for this ATR is going to be back over here. Scans along the whole area. This ATR is committed. Hopefully he'll survive the onslaught of fire that's going to come at him. I'll be able to salvage the ATR by routing him back to the commissar. And it'll just be a question of where I want that commissar to be. Probably right there, in case he tries to run some tanks. Actually, right there is even better. So we're gonna do these moves. Let me go ahead and move the Russians here. Okay, the Russians have moved, and there's an interesting problem here, which I forgot to remember. Don't remember if there's an LOS through to that. So, if we kind of look at this, we can do the eyeballing approach. And we can say, well, the LOS travels right through this midpoint. So if this dot has an LOS to that midpoint and this dot does, then there's an LOS. So as you look at this, goes through that midpoint. It's very questionable if there's an LOS through to there. I might just hold back and fire the pin guys at that just for fun. Yeah, that's what we'll probably do, but I won't do that first. The first shot's going to be the flamethrower. Where did I put it? There it is. Flamethrower is going to shoot across the gap and do a 12 flat. Now, last time I played this, my opponent, flamethrower, never ran out of juice. A lot of times when I play with flamethrowers, they seem to run out of juice immediately. Let's see how the Italians do. Well, they do okay. They roll a 6. There's plenty of juice. And that's a 2 morale check on the 12. Here we go. 2 morale check, 11, 12, 13. Ugh. These guys do not want to pass a morale check very well. So they slime down. These things are over here, so they're not in the way here. Yep, they're going down to 426 here. I'm broken. Okay. The next shot will be the pinned unit over there. Let me go over to my handy computer, check that LOS. I'm not going to drag the camera with me. I'm just going to do it from here to there, line of sight. And it is blocked by the woods in L1, as we might have thought. So the pinned guy's shot, which is going to be a 3+1. Note that I do use the incremental IFT. So here we go. This Italian has to roll to 10, so at least he didn't break the machine gun. So that leaves these guys with some shots to break down and kill this. It'd be good if that ATR can't retreat. So I've got 4 here. Probably got an LOS to it. 4 plus 6 is 10. We'll do a 10 up 1. 10 up 1 with a 10. 10 on the 10 is nothing. And then this stack will not have to reveal itself. Nothing can, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, he will have to. What's the name? -1 leader here. I've got 4, 10 flat. Let's try to destroy that, but I don't think I will. 10 flat with another 10, 11 now. Some bad shooting here, so they make it alive. Over here, these CX guys, that's going to have a loss. So that's 6 plus 6. 12 up 2. Last chance. Do some damage on that guy. 7. So 1 check. 1 check on the broken guy. He did get reduced, but his ATR will be able to route away. So there's half a squad of Russians killed. We'll put some casualties up here to keep track of them, just for the sake of the scenario. Okay. All these guys defensive fired. These guys did not. Oh, I do have a chance. I'm going to go ahead and shoot this guy with 7 plus 1. Can they do it? 7 plus 1. 10. Net 10. Nope. Okay. Now these guys can still shoot. They've got 6 plus 1. That's this tank right here to there. Oh, and he rolled rate of fire. No, he did not. There's no rate of fire it's reduced to nothing. But he did roll a 1 check. This might strand that ATR. Yep, he's dead. So, combined firepower of all the Italians, the conservative approach has netted an ATR casualty, we could call it. Now, the Russians have 2 choices. They can go ahead, put this guy up here, but he'll probably be forfeit. It's going to be the advancing fire phase now. That guy will be lost and just wasted. So I think it's better to fall back into the forest, say sayonara to the ATR. Okay, so in the rout phase, there is no routes. Advances. Russian advances, so the ATR that they have left will go here. These guys, I don't know if I want to leave anybody on the road, but I think I have to block it. So, yeah, let's move him here. This commissar here now is not in the best position. I was hoping to have him there to rally that. So what to do with the commissar? You might try to push tanks through. This is going to be pretty ugly. Pretty fast. I'm not happy with this situation for the Russians now. I think what we'll do is we'll put him up here on the advance. So there's my line of defense. Not so great anymore, but I do have a lot of reinforcements coming in next turn. The Italians will be setting up for that. So when we come back, we'll see what they do for that. Okay, so it's now, there's no advancing fire. That's the advance phase. Concealments. Well, he can be seen now. These guys can conceal with the guy he's with, the commissar. So that's what we've got. 5 squads left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus the half squad. And the Italians, due to their conservative approach, they're going to need to get more aggressive now. They need to press hard in here, in my opinion, while also protecting as much as possible against these Russians that would be coming in. So the most defensive position for the Italian machine gun would be to be right here, okay? I don't like that, but I think putting maybe 1 squad here, that's what the other guy did to me. That was probably a good move. There's a wooden building here. I don't know if you can see it. Sorry, it's stone building. So put the machine gun here. Put a 3, 4, 6 or something in there just to be a nuisance. Hard for him to root out. Has a range of 8 at long range. So if you really want to commit something, you can commit an actual 4, 6, 7. However, there's no guarantee he's going to be able to make it across. So the Russians have revealed that none of these guys could be the ATR, so the Italians know that the ATR is there. So that's the situation at the end of turn 1. So I'm going to put everything up, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like this. If you didn't like it and watched all the way through to hear these final words, then thank you anyway, and ciao for now. Okay, hi everybody. I thought I'd do more of a complete playthrough of the first turn than I normally would do. What I notice is when I do these series of turns and I keep showing turn after turn, interest wanes. But usually the first contact and the first introduction interview gets more shows. So I'm going to go ahead and do more of a complete description of the turn. In fact, I'll try to do a complete playthrough as I go through it here. So We set up the snipers and the offboard tanks for the Italians are coming in over here. I don't know if you can see that pointer very well. Here. How's this? Use the back scratcher. So here's where the Italians are coming in with their tanks on turn 1. The Italian sniper's been set up here. Basically, the idea is they'll pick this off. That would be the ideal situation, but they got to be within 6 of 6. The Russian sniper is here. So let's get started. So we start with wind change. From the axis, roll is an 11, there is no wind change. So let's go ahead and start. There's no prep fire, so there's only movement. So let's see. Probably premature to bring on the tanks because there's anti-tank rifles in here someplace. And there's basically, well, probably one right there I could deduce, or there's probably one up here. That one can see back here, but not for very long, and it's a really long-range shot. Actually, it's probably too far. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 hexes is actually too far for an ATR to do anything. So that's at least one good thing about the Russian ATRs compared to the others. At least as far as the axes are concerned, they still only have a range of 12 hexes. So let's get started on this. So we're moving into movement. We can use this spinner thingamajigga to track this. It's useful for me if I get interrupted during this or during video production. Sometimes I have to stop things. All right, so let's get started with some movement here. I'm going to pause the tape. I'm not going to make you watch every move, but I'll probably pause if there's any shooting. All right, so here I'm going to pause now. All right, so we are going to do a little recon here. I've got this 346. Let's zoom in on this a little bit so we can see this action a little bit better. Okay, the 346 is going to start moving. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and then CX, or just move 5 along the road. So let's see if we can make some guys pop here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I don't want to show this one yet as the Russians because there's an ATR there. I'll shoot with this. 447 will take the first shot. I'm going to get out my markers here. First fire, we got an 8 down 2. That's pretty deadly. See what we get here. An 8 to a 6. Not a very good roll. It's a 1 check, but it's an Italian. And here we go. 1 check with an 11, 12. So it's going to be an ELR failure for them. Let me pull out the Italian deck here. Okay, now, a couple things about this. Yes, that Italian is broken. And unfortunately, it did fail ELR, but keep in mind that now that it's adjacent to this guy here won't be able to shoot at anybody moving up into this area. So then you might want to say, well, maybe I want to move closer and take a pot shot at this, especially if I can get the flamethrower up here to do that. But then, looking at this thing here, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's no blind hexes, so if I do get the flamethrower up here, it will have a shot at me if it's the machine gun. So I still may not want to do that. Could be good to line up as much as possible concealed. Now, one thing the shot of this did do is it prevents a shot as I run across here. So I do want to get some guys into that hex. So that's going to be possible now. Okay. So let's continue our moves here. I've got to put 4 residuals here in case I try that trick again, which I probably will not. All right, let me pause it. So here's the movement of the infantry, except for these guys. These guys are going to move along here. We need to get an LOS maybe here. It's hard to get to. You need to be able to see into this area to see if those Guns are back here. See where they are. It's hard to get some line of sight on that right away. So that's what these guys' jobs back here. They're going to go bypass 1, 2, bypass 3, 4, I guess 1, 2, just hug this hill so this guy can't see him. He's too far along here. There's going to be blind hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. CX them to there. They really can't go any further. So that'll have to do. And then I decided on a conservative approach here rather than to try to force this line. What we'll do here now is bring the tanks in. And where shall we bring them in? Well, we know there's going to be an ATR, at least one right there. So do I want to bring some over here? Because it doesn't look like we haven't triggered this machine gun. We don't know if there's an ATR up here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This isn't an unsafe place to have one of these tanks. The thing is, shooting up the steeple, it's going to be a 6 plus 3. That's not a great shot. And so trading pot shots with the ATR up there is probably a losing proposition for these tanks. So generally, we want to keep them out of line of sight of possible ATRs at this time. And I think a safe thing to do, since I'm playing it a little bit cautious, is to bring the tanks in this area. If there is an ATR, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there'll be some blind hexes here where the tanks can hang out. Let's see how far they can get. Let me zoom back out. No, you can see the tanks. Okay, so here they come. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we could go CE here. I don't know if I need to, really. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I do want to. One of the things that slows this game down is too much precision with the tanks. Right now, it just seems like everybody I play likes to count out their best possible move with the tanks beforehand. 6 of one, half a dozen the other. I mean, if you play a little faster, you can play more games, but you might lose more tanks. I wish there was some kind of way to force people to play faster, but you can't really. It's one disadvantage of playing ASL. Sometimes people are just slow. All right, and I usually use this die to track how many movement points I've spent, but I forgot to, as usual. I think it was 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Spinning, unbuttoning, 8. Now here, probably the machine gun. Nah, he probably doesn't have a shot. 8 and a half, so I'll just call it 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If I move there, if it's an ATR, probably no shot. There might be an ATR shot through there, though. So let's face our turret this way. Because he might take that shot. I probably would. We'll find out. We'll find out if it's there. This tank is in motion here. Okay. So, let's bring on the rest of these. This is so this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Spinning. 9. And a half, call it 10. 11, 12, 13, 14. So they're both in motion. Bring on some more of these guys. What I need to do with these tanks next turn is to fan them out over here, maybe run them in here. Certainly want to cover a lot of territory. And I want to have the medium machine gun over here too to stop the onslaught of Russians when they come in on turn 2. So let me move the rest of the tanks. Hold on. Okay, so we're going to move this to defensive fire. Let's get this little wheelie thing in over here. You can see this, change it to defensive fire. So, yeah, we're gonna try this shot. So we'll be checking the LOS on that. This guy will be doing a final fire shot, so we'll do that first. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. Do I want to do that first? You need to look at the snipers, but this sniper is really out of range, almost out of range of that guy. It's probably better, though, to try to take this ATR shot. So I'm going to do that first. The ATR is going to check an LOS. Now I'm going to show you how I do that. Let's see if this works here. Just give me a second. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this. It looks okay. I'm taking a picture of my computer screen here with Vassal up. Sometimes it's easier to check LOS with Vassal than it is to try to do it on the map, obviously. That's what I'm going to do here. However, I do want to point out that sometimes there are anomalies between what's on Vassal and what's on the real maps. So if there's ever a close LOS, I suggest that you use the real maps to prevail. So we'll check the LOS here. Let me do this here, so I can do this carefully here. From here to here. And there is LOS. I don't have the full details on here. Let me just change my preferences. You can change your preferences for LOS to be verbose mode. Oh, I do have it on. Okay. So with verbose mode, you get more information. You can also change the levels, apparently, on which these things are. I'm not really good at all that. I always calculate the level differences internally in my head. Anyway, clearly a good shot. So we're going to take that shot and see what happens. Let me move back to the mount.